Bonjour from Champex. That's the campground where I spent the night. Went into town for breakfast at the boulangerie. They had a little restaurant attached to it. They had a breakfast buffet. It was, bread, jam, butter, cheese. They might not have even had any cold cuts. Muesli, yogurt, 18 Swiss francs. So that's like 22 bucks for the buffet. I said no. I just went to the boulangerie and had some quiche instead. Yeah, they didn't even have any eggs. No bacon, nothing like that. Switzerland can be expensive. Yeah, definitely. This would not fly in, Portugal. Okay, should be. It's like 5.5 hour section, I think, with a couple different camping options. I have about an 800-meter climb today, so there's going to be one slog going over the cold Forclaz, I think, something like that. I'll have to look it up. Just going down this country lane here. Something I wanted to talk about, really the whole trip. That was the use of language, use of English as I've been trekking around. So I, was down in South America earlier this year, a little bit in Central America, then Portugal, Spain, Italy, now France, Switzerland, and I stayed in a lot of like hostels. It's mostly where I stayed on the Camino, but also in urban areas: Madrid, Barcelona, Rome, Milan. And the functioning language in all of them was English. That's the operational language. Like the signs will be in English, they'll be like, in some, especially like urban hostels, they'll have like jazzy sayings, today is the first day of the rest of your life or whatever, all in English. There might be some signs that are required by the local authority, like in Rome, how to escape, So that sign was in Italian, but everything else was in English. They greeted you in English. The people at the breakfast bar, Germans talking to Russians in English. At the Banati Refuge, a Polish lady and an Israeli couple, all conversing in English because it is the common second language of the world. And I have to turn here, I think. I get going and I go right past the turn. Wouldn't have been the first time. Anyway, just an observation that I've had, and such that when I went down to South America, I was thinking, well, I really need to brush up on my Spanish. And other than at the hostel in El Chalten, in which almost all the guests were, by default, were addressing each other in English. The lady who ran it, she understood English, she just didn't really speak any, but very accommodating anyway. But although I started, brushing up on my Spanish, so we say, I kind of abandoned it because I didn't have to. Yeah, and you don't have to in Spain and Portugal and Rome and Milan and Siena. So anyway, observation for the day as I'm hiking the Alps. and with beautiful wildflowers. And these, it's an electrified fence. It was put up on these fiberglass stakes. A while back, went through a gate, and you know, the farmers will set this up seasonally and then take them down at the end of the season when the cattle are no longer grazing. I think the high pastures are here off to my left. I haven't seen any right now, but I did hear some cowbells. But I'm now inside the fence line, so to speak. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's a good view. Oh yes. All around the bend, around the bend here. And I think there's just, I don't know, a few hundred meters up here is a place. Ran into some hikers so that I can get an apple tart. I'm sure I can get a coffee too. And this is the Rhone Valley. Look how flat it is. Wow. Yeah, and spectacular mountains off to the right. And ooh. And I'd have to look, see what mountain that is. That's definitely not Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc is, well, on the other side of this little hill. And I won't see it, I don't think, until maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But yeah. Oh. Okay, this has been sort of a bit of a slog, but the payoff is good. Looks like the Canadian Rockies, you know.